Ciao, welcome back on my channel. My name is Pietro and today I'm gonna explain you how to make a full overhaul of an engine block of your Piaggio Vespa. On this particular video I will show you how to disconnect the engine block from the chassis. So I will show you how to disconnect the oil line, the fuel line, grommet, the brake line, the throttle line, the choke line and few electrical connection. Alright? This video is just how to disconnect the engine block from the Vespa. Stick around, subscribe to the channel and don't lose the other videos. And I will explain you slowly how to rebuild and overhaul all the engine block in many parts. Clutch, bearings, crankshaft, piston, cylinder and many other stuff. Main problem, the engine is seized. You see the kickstarter is stuck. Let's open the right hood and check what's happened. Checking the spark plug, you may see that the thread is a little bit dirt of oil. But anyway, the electrode has a very good color, so the alpha ratio should be correct. I was not running lean. To remove the engine cooling, you have to screw one above, I remove it now, close to the spark plug. And the other one is here, is a Phillips. Strange things, the engine is seized, but it moves a little bit backwards, and then it moves a little bit forward, and then stuck again. Something is wrong, and maybe it's not only the piston and the cylinder. I know, it's a little bit annoying, but of course if you have to remove the cylinder, you have to disconnect it before the exhaust. In the past I did already a full video how to remove the exhaust on your Vespa. If you saw it, you already know that you have to remove the rear wheel in order to remove the big bolt that keep the muffler on the Vespa chassis. On the Vespa, you don't have enough space to remove the cylinder without removing the stud bolt, unless you disassemble all the engine block. Which, if you see full video, is what we're gonna do in the end. When you remove the stud bolt, remember to take the exact height from the cylinder. You have to restore at the end. Check always the description. I will write you down as many information as I can. Feel free to ask any questions. The engine still doesn't go out smoothly. You have just to turn a little bit clockwise in order to move the exhaust tips that make obstruction. What is that? The gear is in neutral position. The cylinder is removed and the piston doesn't move. And the engine looks still sized. Minchia, what a big mess. We have to open the engine block and find out what's happened. The engine sided was not due to the piston stuck on the cylinder. One of the common failures of an engine sideset is the poor oil lubrication, so check the piston and also the cylinder that there is still some oil on it. Of course, before rebuild the engine, you have to find the cause that sides the cylinder and the piston and fix it. In the newer Vespa you have the electrical starter motor. I just disconnected this wire. My oil tank is half empty, so if I maintain the oil tube high, the oil will just not drop down. Otherwise you have to cap it. For the timing I put it here, so it will not drop down. Now it's time for the fuel line. We have to disconnect also the choke line. And even the throttle. This is the fuel line. Clutch line. Disconnect the cable clamp. 8 mm down and 7 mm up. My suggestion is pull out the wire and put the cable clamp on the wire. You will not lose it. Just like this, you want as few as possible flying objects. If your screw is stuck, before stripping the thread, buy an impact screwdriver. Hammering the impact screwdriver gives a torsion and a big vibration. It helps a lot to solve this kind of situation. Vai. Now we have to disconnect the cable clamp of the gear selector. Above we have 7 mm wrench and below 80 mm wrench. The ideal for this operation is to put the fourth gear. I couldn't, because as piston and cylinder is sized, so is the gearbox. Doesn't move. I found this nut 6 mm, the stock one is 7. Since the wire is often folded, it's better to remove the wire adjuster. The hole will be bigger and the wire will pass through more easily. Same stuff for the other wire. Alright, we are ready to remove the engine block. We have disconnected all the system from the Vespa. But before, let's make a little review. We have the choke cable, the throttle cable, the oil tube line, the fuel line, the electrical connection. We have the ground wire, the ignition coil wire, the starter motor if installed, and then we have the two gearbox wire, the brake cable, and the clutch line. Two bolts are left. One is big and is here hidden from the dirt, and the other one is on the back of the suspension. We start to unbolt the suspension one. We have to sustain the Vespa from its weight, since we disconnected already the rear wheel. Leave the bolt on the suspension. Each time you don't need something, leave it in place. You will remember where exactly to go. At last, we have the final bolt. It's a 22 mm bolt here, and the nut in the other side is also 22 mm. I prefer to hold the bolt and unscrew the nut. I put both tires below the engine block since it's really heavy. Before slide out the pin, maintain the engine block in a solid place. Do not attempt to keep it from the carburetor box, for instance. Find some strong place. Okay, as long as the jack stand help us to maintain the engine block from the back, it's easy to manage. Sì, è pesante, ragazzi. Drained all the engine oil. It's dark and there is a lot of aluminum dust. I guess I broke something inside of the engine block. Stick on the channel for the next episode on the Vespa. Ciao, grazie!